I'm not even focused on views or subscribers. What I'm focusing on is
second place in the school games, which is a competition where online entrepreneurs compete to make the most amount of money in a month, and you came second freaking place with youpreneur. So why don't you describe to the audience who maybe not know you, what is youpreneurs?
So basically, I started YouTube 5 months ago. I started business 7 months ago. The only difference between people that have failed for 3 years and me is just
we're here in beautiful Las Vegas. I can hear the waterfall in the background. This is a pretty sick backdrop, man.
Yes,
to have a podcast actually here is pretty insane. But tell us who you are and where are we? Like, where are we right now? What are we doing?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty insane that school even throws this in the first place, which is why I went all in on school, because I know the people behind it. We all know the founder. We all know the guys on the staff. And school is just like the environment. You can't kind of beat it, right? Like they flew us all out. We're all at the mastermind. We're all at the house, and we're all gaining value from each other. We're all learning from each other. And I feel like it's something you can't beat, the connections with the people here, and especially the experiences too.
And the interesting thing is that you actually won the school games. You came like second or third place. What was it?
Yeah, I came second.
Second place in the school games, which is a competition where online entrepreneurs compete to make the most amount of money in a month, and you came second freaking place with youpreneurs. So why don't you describe to the audience who maybe not know you, what is youpreneurs?
So basically, I took entrepreneurs and YouTube and I combined it. And that's how I got youpreneurs, because like, if you're an entrepreneur like me and you, we're both using YouTube to then help our business grow. And I feel like just combining both of those and kind of aligning it, for us, we are YouTubepreneurs, right? We use YouTube to then, advance our business. So that's kind of the idea that I had with it. And just like naming it and putting it out there. And I feel like using YouTube, especially to get clients and actually giving insane amounts of value on YouTube, is like the way to go nowadays.
But you're not just like focusing on AdSense or product placement or brand deals. So how are people making money with YouTube and with youpreneurs?
Yeah, so I'm not even focused on views either or subscribers. I mean, subscribers play a part because technically those people are returning viewers. But what I'm focusing on is getting the right people to view the video that align with me, align with my message, and then also align with what I'm trying to help them do. So for us and for me, I'm trying to help people get clients with YouTube organic content. So in my content, I'm giving them action steps and I'm giving them a layout, a playbook they can use to then go take action right after watching my video. And those videos don't get that much views, but they'll then book a call with me and they can then become a client of mine on a platform like Skool, where we can charge upwards to $5,000 for people to work with us. And especially on Skool, with the environment and the platform that it is, that's really how people are making money with YouTube. It's not really from AdSense. It's not really from views, because honestly, that is short-lived too. Because once you stop getting views, then you go crazy. Like you have no other source of income, where if you're just focusing on providing the right content and enough value, your videos can live forever on YouTube. Yeah. 'Cause that's another feature, like the evergreen videos, where guys like Sam Ovens, we're still seeing his videos 5 years later.
Yeah.
So,
you know what I love about your business and what you're doing, what you're teaching, is that you're teaching the dog whistle versus the megaphone. So I could go on the side of the street or in any city and I can have a megaphone and I can say my message. And people may look at me. I may get attention because I'm being loud, obnoxious. I'm saying, people are going to look over. But will they walk over and hand me their credit card to work with me? Probably not. Exactly. Right? I mean, who would, right? But the minute I'm actually blowing a dog whistle, I'm saying the right thing that only the people who are actually looking for that exact message would come up and then strike a conversation with me and actually want to learn about what it is that I'm offering. And so you're using the phrase dog whistle in your marketing, that it's okay not to get views. if it was I'd rather 100 people that actually want to do something with YouTube and do something in their business than 10,000 people who just watch it and do nothing. Right? It's far more valuable. So I freaking love that, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing that I think I took the biggest takeaway from Hormozy was like value per minute. So for him, he's not even focused on the end of the video. He's focused on the first minute, providing the best thing, because he knows that, not everybody's going to be even watching after 3 minutes. So he's like, how can I help the most people in the shortest amount of time with the most knowledge that I have from the most experience that I've been doing it the longest? So I feel like that's why he is who he is, because he's got the years in business, he's got his experience, he's got what he's gone through, and he knows how to portray himself and speak to where he can throw everything at you within 1 minute and you stay to the end. And I feel like that's how you can master YouTube and then make extremes amount of money off of it.
So how does then Skool come into play, right? So Skool is the platform you're using, but for people listening right now, like, what's the funnel? How do you get from someone, from YouTube, maybe off platform? Like, maybe walk us through a little bit of your process and what your client acquisition funnel looks like.
Yeah. So, I mean, for myself, I use YouTube. And then in my YouTube description, I see a lot of people make this mistake, and it's honestly hurting their business a lot, because people create YouTube videos for clients. People create YouTube videos to get people, whether it's like affiliates or to watch more videos or to go to their links. But they have a description that has 1,000 words in it. So people have so many choices where if you just have, hey, here's what I do. If you want, just watch this video and you can get some value from it. Go here to get the free resource, or go here because I think I can help you do this. And, you don't have to be so hard selling people, because if people want to work with you, they should get the value in the video itself. It shouldn't be in the description. So if you're providing value in your video, and it's like, hey, if you want some of the value that was in this video, go here. And then that is a VSL where it explains exactly what I do. And if you want to work with me, then book a call. And then on my landing page, it's one button, one offer, one thing. It's not a whole landing page where it's 80 pages of copy, persuasion, copywriting. I feel like the days of just like having those super long landing pages are done, especially if we've seen with Skool. It's just, you just have to make it simple with bullet points and just show them like, okay, working with me, you get this service, this service, this service, and this service, and then this is the result. And people look at the result and then they look at the bullet points. So that's the thing where it's like the headline is the result, the video, and then the bullet points, and then book a call.
I think people overcomplicate, business.
Yeah.
Like, what I love about like what you're talking about, and I've been in business for a long time, in the 9-to-5 grind, working with different startups, and there's so much complexity. I think people believe that in order to make money, it needs to be complex. But the thing I've learned from Alex Hormozy is that actually simplicity and clarity is what wins. Like, if you go to the Skool games community, there's only like 5 or 6 videos. Like, there's not like a ton of videos on there on like how to win the Skool games. It's like very clear, very to the point, and just like how you described, it's 3 steps and that's it. Don't have to add all these bells and whistles, these automations. They can help. It's not that it can't help when you're trying to scale, but for a lot of the audiences watching right now who are beginners, you need to start small. You need to master the basics before you add complexity.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. So that's a big thing that I've really tried to like expel in my videos, especially with my like offer and funnel. So basically, the main thing is like simple scales, right? But my thing's like one funnel, one offer, and one button. So one, like for your description, one line in the YouTube video. It doesn't need to be a description of playlists, links, because it just doesn't work. And then on the about page, the reason why Skool is working so well is because it's everything in one. So the VSL is the thing with the pictures, on the about page, and then you have your description, and they limit it to 1,000 words on purpose because your offer doesn't need to even be 1,000 words, because people are just looking for a simple result and simple ways to get there. And that's what I've learned. Like, I try to give a whole roadmap with everything on it. Like, no, you got to give it in little chunks, make it simpler, and just help people and guide them. And you'll be successful if you can do that efficiently.
Now, jumping back into your channel, I've looked at your channel, and the interesting thing is that you do very light editing to almost no editing on your channel. Why is that? Like, I bet I can see in the comments right now, someone saying, don't we need editing? Don't we need like Mr. Beast, like explosions, or like, what's your views on editing YouTube videos?
Yeah, so that's a big thing. I feel like what's in the video matters more than the editing. So what Hermosi taught us at this event was, you know, value per minute. So if you can really just sit there and say something, and maybe like if you want visual effects, fine. But for me, I use Loom, and you can see on my screen what you're about to get in the video. So I do Loom and Miro, and I feel like that's a great combo. I mean, obviously a ton of people have been doing it, but I feel like it works really well with portraying exact advice and then the action steps, because Miro, it's super great for breaking down things. I break down my products, I break down my videos, everything in there. And
you know
it's
what
super
it is?
efficient.
Is people think that editing is going to save them.
Yeah.
Editing because I'm going to attention hack them to watch my video, and it's because they don't have enough value in their video.
Exactly.
And I know this. Listen, I run an agency. I do all those things, and I can see that sometimes those things will actually drop attention just because if you're looking for value, you don't need all the bells and whistles. If you're actually researching, like, how do I start a school community, you would want something very straightforward, like a Miro board that walks you through the process of things. And if I'm entertaining, it's a different thing. But we're in the education space, right? And so, do you believe in adding any sort of entertainment in education, or are you more like value per minute, like you said with Alex Mosey?
I think there's a place for a little bit of both. Like in some of my videos, I portray like some people that I learned from, like Ty Lopez, Sam Ovens, Charlie Morgan, like these guys, and I connect the dots. And then like some of my images are kind of entertaining, where like I had an image where it was like an evolution of the guys. So you like went up from like our evolution of humans, and I related it to like evolutions of being a content creator or an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So like different things like that, just to help people understand. But that once again, it even that's not going to be in the intro.
Yeah.
The intro literally just needs to be, hey, I'm this person. This is my accomplishments, and this is what you're going to get from watching the video. Step one, the most valuable thing, and then you go on. But you have to give, something I've learned is like literally you have to give the best thing in the first minute. And that's what Hermosi was saying. He was like, I'm Alex Hermosi. I've done 300 million in sales. This is the top 10 ways for sales that I've learned over 10 years. Step one, the best step out of every single step. And then people are blown away, and then they just watch the rest of the video.
Man, that's so impactful, so valuable. Something I want to add to that, like, you know, when you're talking about the evolution, is that my belief is that entertainment is different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so you showing more of your personality and having fun in the video, like when I'm watching you and your content, I can see you're enjoying it. I can see that like you're not just like robotic and just like speaking from a script. It's not scripted. It's very authentic to you and who you are. And I think that's what makes it an entertainment education style video, when you have fun in the video. Like, dude, I'm having fun right now making this freaking video in front of the pool. Like, it's pretty fucking sick. You know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't want to be doing this right now, right? So what advice do you have for people for starting, right? You talked about the fun. You talked about why YouTube. You talked about why school. Let's talk about, like, how do we actually get started? I want to do this thing that you're doing. I want to win the school games, or I just want to, you know, make some extra money. Like, where should I start?
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody is, I think there's stages where it's like, you're scared to post your first video. And that happened to me. I was like scared what I thought my friends would think. But once you hit publish, all of that goes away. So it's really just procrastination. And then from there, like the reason I love making content is like every single video I'll post, my speaking skills and my like persuasion or just vocabulary and all that, it goes up like one notch.
You're leveling up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's so fun. I feel like business is a game, and especially with school, they make it fun, and it feels like a game because honestly, school, that's what they're trying to make it. That's what they're trying to make the platform like, where it's fun, yeah, but at the same time, it's fun, but you have to put in the work, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people think you should just have, I guess, fun all the time, but it's not going to be fun all the time, right?
Yeah, of course. So what I'm hearing is what you're saying is that, a lot of people are fearful, and that's what's preventing them from starting. So the funny thing, in order to start, you need to press publish.
Yeah.
In order to start and gain clarity is you have to get over that first hump. No one's going to watch the first video anyways. So why not start? Why not publish? My first video I posted on YouTube, like, I don't know, 6-8 years ago, like no one watched it, but it's still there because I watch it and I enjoy knowing where I started, and people can see the progression, right? And imagine if you didn't make that decision, where would you be now? Like,
exactly.
Did you ever imagine from that moment you press publish that you'd be sitting here right now, meeting Alex Ramosi, Sam Ovens, winning the school games, being in the school games mansion, sitting here being interviewed?
I mean, it's just funny because I started YouTube 5 months ago. I started business 7 months ago.
Wow.
And the only difference between people that have failed for 3 years and me, where I guess I went fast, is just the amount of action that I took immediately when I thought about it. So that's what I heard. I think Sam was talking about how, like, if he had a feeling, he would act on it. And
didn't second guess it, just went for it.
Yeah, I feel like if you have a feeling on something and it's really pulling you to do that, just do it. And when I, like, sometimes I see YouTube videos that will pop off and I have a feeling like I can maybe recreate that and do a good video. I did that for one video and it's doing insanely well for me, and it's booking me calls because it was a business video, but it was like with drawing with the whiteboard, and I was like, I could probably do that format. I had an old iPad. I pulled it back out. I had an Apple Pencil in it, plugged it in, and drew some shit for 10 minutes.
That's awesome.
Posted it, and it's doing insanely well. So, I mean, I really think that people should act not only in business, but for content too. Because let's say I failed, right? Okay, well, that's information for me. Or if the video did bad, that's information for me to know that, okay, that format isn't good. Yeah. So you just got to test. You just got to act. And when you think of something or you have a feeling towards something, do it. Because for my offer for YouTube, it was either YouTube or helping people with like systems and automations and data and all that. And I had such a strong pull towards YouTube, but I was like, oh, I can make money doing this service. But I was like, I have no passion in making AI or doing any of that stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me ask around some people. But that's another thing, like asking other people, they'll tell you, they'll help you. But if you have such a strong feeling, it's never going to overcome that. So for me, like I'll go ask people for advice and I'll do it what I thought in the first place first. So that's just, I've recognized that. Like,
you're trusting your intuition.
Yeah. I mean, I would ask for help and then it would take them too long and I would just end up doing it. So it's like action, I feel like it's the most important thing in business.
I 100% agree with that, because like if there's anything I learned meeting, this is my third round in the school game mansion. You know, I filmed behind the scenes of all the winners, and I've interviewed every single winner of the school games for the last 3 months. All of them say something similar to that regard, that everything has to do with action. You can have the best idea in the world and it won't come true without action. Action is the only thing that matters, and nothing is perfect. You'll never know if it's going to work out. You'll never know unless you act on it. That's the only way to 100% know. You will never, you can be 98% sure that it's going to work, but you never fully know. And the only way to know is to act. And jumping back on your point about asking people advice, it's like, it's so hard to get advice sometimes because they may not know your personal situation, right? It's far easier to like act on things, gain insight, and then ask advice. But a lot of people, especially beginners, ask advice like how do I start? Like where do I start? It's like, well, what are you into? Like it's so much more information.
It's so harder to help them too.
But once you start, then you're like, okay, but I'm stuck at something. Oh, then it's easy to get coaching because it's like, oh, you're just stuck on like a technical thing or like automations. You know, you were helping me earlier, like, oh, bro, like you just need to know this one thing and that's your unlock. But if I was like, how do I automate? You're going to laugh at me. Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah. So that brings up another point. Well, 2 points. I guess I'll go with the one I thought first, where it was like skill stacking. So for me, I like stacked all the skills to where I could do the school games event by myself. So I stacked the skills of like tracking data, looking at data, creating systems, client dashboards, like all that stuff. That it may sound complicated if you don't know what that means, but you know, you can always learn everything, and I feel like you become a master and you can hire the right people too. You know what's good. You can scale a business. You know how to do each little like crack of the business. Is just by going in and like grabbing skills from each and every endpoint. And I feel like I'm slowly doing that, but I feel like the more diverse skills I have, the better I can like grow my business. Because if we look at Hermosi, like that's what he did with his business. He went from like manager to CEO to internet guy that he is now, but he's still not like an internet guy. He's still like in the trenches doing each and every little thing. And then he's just presenting it in his content, and he gets the rewards for it.
Alex is I think the reason why Alex is such a great guy is because he's actually failed 2 businesses. He went bankrupt twice, and most people would give up after once. Most people think, oh, this ain't for me. He went bankrupt twice, and now he has a portfolio of you know, I don't know how much, maybe in the billions of wealth in his portfolio company, acquisition.com, and only because of skills. You could go bankrupt, you could lose everything, but you never lose your skills. You never lose your knowledge. You never lose your contacts. And so he could always build $1 million, $100 million business because of the skills he's gained. So to your point, it's like there is no such thing as failure. It really is only lessons, because if you quote unquote fail, you've gained so much knowledge, so many skills to make the next business, the next venture even better. So it's like, so to recap, I have like, you need to punch fear in the face. You need to press publish. You need to start, right? You need to trust your intuition, and you need to take action. Yeah. Anything else you want to share? Any other things popping up? You said 2 things, right? Was there a second one?
I would say like taking action, because it's a lot harder to help people from like 0 to 0.1. Because 0 to 1 is like you're making your first dollar. So that's even a big jump. But like 0 to 0.0 or 0.1 is hard to help people, because like you know what you really want to do. So just take action on it. And then if it doesn't work out, like I've helped people who had such a wrong offer, and I helped them guide them to the right offer just because they had something I could look at. And I was like, okay, well, I see where your interests are. I see where your skills are. You can just offer this, and people would want that result way more than this. And there's a bigger market for this. So just go after that, because the result is so simple and people want that. So
there's a market for anything.
Yeah.
If you want to freaking paint, there's a market for it.
Yeah.
It truly is. I really believe that. I mean, 100% right, man.
Yeah. But I mean, once again, like people get it wrong when they're like, oh, I'm just a painting community. Like you have to just look at the result of why people want to paint. Like, oh, I want to create memories. I want to leave a legacy for myself or something. The same thing with like, but I see something where people want to publish books. It's a big business now. And you have to look at why they want to publish the book, right? To leave something behind that lasts way longer than them. And that's what you push in your marketing message, because that's the result that they want.
So I think the takeaway I'm getting from this is ask why. Ask more questions around why. Why do you want to do this? Why is this the thing that you want to do? And you will find out what the end result really is.
Yeah.
Dude, that's epic, man. Anything else? Any other advice or quick tips you want to share before we like maybe close things off, or what?
I mean, I would just kind of ask you some questions like
Shoot, bro.
what are the guys like you've been looking up to for a while? Because you're older than me,
Mhm.
so you've been in this space a little bit longer than me, and you've kind of seen the guys rise and like learning from those guys. So, what guys have you looked at, analyzed, and learned the most from, and then share some like exclusive things that you either live by or like it hit home for you.
So Dan Martell, I think is if I'm pronouncing his name, he's a Canadian. I'm a Canadian, and he's blowing up on YouTube recently in the last, let's say, 12 months. And he has a book called Buy Back Your Time. I just bought it. I'm like on the first chapter, and I'm hooked on it. And it's all about. It's about time. I crave freedom. I crave like I want to do more of this. I want to be able to, if I could travel the world, get paid to speak to cool people, and make content, that would be the best life. So I've determined what my dream life is. And I'm like pretty close to living it, honestly. Like I'm here right now. But this book and what he talks about in his content is buying back your time, is creating systems, not only just like in your business, in your life, to help you get to your dream life, help you get to your dream business. And there's a lot that he's doing on YouTube. And he does fancy editing. He does the big things, but he's been blowing up. Like he had a YouTube channel, I think for a decade, that he didn't cross the 10,000 subscriber mark. And now he's I think like in the hundreds of thousands in the last 12 months. So there's so much lessons I've learned. And I think he follows the same kind of tactics as Alex Ramosi, in that every single minute of his videos, I am like on the edge of my seat.
Okay.
Dan Martell.
Yeah, we're gonna look him up. So
he's a really, really good guy. I mean, there's so many lessons, but he's a very systems guy and leadership. And he talks about hiring, talks about delegating. And so from a business perspective, because I'm in the phase of my business of scaling, and so I need to become a better leader. I need to become a better operator. And so he's been great in that.
Yeah.
And he's been blowing up on YouTube. And so it's been a nice refresher to me to see that, you can have a channel for a decade and in the YouTube world, 10,000 subscribers is not big, right? And now he's crushing it, and he's going to be hitting I think 500,000 pretty soon.
Yeah. So we'll put up his YouTube on the screen.
Yeah.
Right now, if you guys are still watching, and what he's doing is he has this book. He's kind of just mimicking what Ramosi has been doing, right? And he's creating a lot of like-minded content of kind of what Ramosi's doing. But right now, he's trying to build his personal brand. But he's mixing different types of content up. So we'll probably put a little graph on the screen of what content he's creating, where it's top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. And you guys can see exactly what he's doing with his strategy on how he's focusing on growth, then focusing on nurturing, then focusing on converting his audience with his videos. And I feel like that is the key playbook for somebody to actually get clients from YouTube.
I mean, the funny thing is, the biggest people on YouTube don't have the biggest following. So I follow this woman named Sunny. I forget her last name, but she's another Canadian. And I'm just plugging all my Canadian friends. And she's making like 8 figures on YouTube and has very little audience.
Really?
Not big. Like 50,000 subscribers was very small. And it's because she knows the pain points of her audience. She knows when I look at a title that she posts, like whenever she posts a new video, I don't have the bell notification on for her, because instantly it draws me in, because it's like she's almost like reading my mind. And that is what you want in your content. If you can have your audience feel like you are reading their minds, you are going to have no problem getting clients. You'll never have a client acquisition problem again in your business, because she just knows the problems of her audience. She knows her audience inside and out, because she was her audience. She targets people, like she always says in her content, you want to target the people 2 years behind you, right? And now she's like 10 years in the game, so hers is like 10 years behind her. But if you're just starting, who are you 2 years ago? So if you were going to help 2 years ago Hayden, it's very easy to know what problems that person has, because you obviously were him. Right. So it makes your content strategy and your business strategy just super simple. And that's
Yeah.
what I've been craving. I've been in the game for a while, made a lot of mistakes, but now I'm looking to simplify more and just have more fun with it. Like I want a more lifestyle business model, you know? And but those are some of the key lessons and key, I guess, influential creators I've been watching.
Yeah. So I think I'm leaning towards more helping people become a one-person business
Oh, that's
um,
huge.
with YouTube.
That's huge. That's a huge market right now. So
Yeah.
many people looking up that search term. I don't know how many thousands of clicks
Yeah.
that gets, but that's huge.
So Dan Coe really founded the search term one person business. Oh, he didn't found it, but for YouTube, he was the one that was
He's
pushing
the
it the
guy, though.
most.
He's the guy
Yeah.
that really started it. Right?
Yeah, because he's mastered kind of the content like flow system, and that's what I'm trying to implement now. But I'm really focusing on having the content flow with YouTube because yeah, like it's great to be on all these platforms, but if you can master YouTube, you'll beat everybody else who's trying to do all these different platforms. And I feel like that's what I'm, mastering right now, which is staying on YouTube and then using YouTube to master and become my own flow. Because there's different things with YouTube. We have the community tab, we have announcements with YouTube, and then we have school, and then we have Instagram. And if you can use just those three platforms in sync, it's super powerful. And I think that's the number one way I'm going to be pushing for the one business or the one person business model, and how people can actually use YouTube and all the features on it to really push and get the highest quality of person. Because all these other guys are focusing on being the most watched or most seen. But for me, I want to be most connected with my audience, like you were saying with the avatar. And if you focus on YouTube, you can make that happen.
100%, man. You don't need the bells and whistles. You don't need the fancy ads. All those things come later in your business. If you want to build a freaking empire like Alex, that's when I would be like, okay, let's learn ads. Let's learn how to because they do amplify everything. But if you're just starting out, bro, you gotta post content. You gotta test things out first. Like I think everyone watching this right now is probably in that beginner, intermediate kind of phase in their business. Maybe they're just starting, they're trying to grow, they're getting their first few clients. I think that's the best advice that we can kind of give them.
Yeah, for sure.
Epic,
sure.
dude. Anything else?
I would just say, hey, if you're watching this, open up Loom or with your iPhone, go film a quick video and post it and see what happens.
And bro, where can people find you?
People can find me on my YouTube, my Instagram, or on school, just Hayden.Bunn. And that's pretty much for all my socials. So.
Listen, guys, you got to go follow him because if you want to win the school games, if you want to win in business, you want to be hanging out with us at a mansion in Las Vegas, you have to start. That's the biggest thing. And the best way to start, go check Hayden out on his YouTube channel, and he'll take you through the whole system, the whole flow. And yeah, guys, this is epic, man. Thank you so much for jumping on the pod.
Yes,
I'm getting hot, so let's go back in the shade. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.
Peace out, guys.